Hello everybody, so today we're going to talk about factoring polynomials. We have here factor completely x squared minus 4. Now that's the difference of two squares. So here we have, just to remind you, so we have, we can use the first property here. It's going to be x squared minus a squared equals x minus a times x plus a. So here we have x squared minus 4 is 2 squared equals x minus 2 times x plus 2. Well, here we have to factor the difference of the two cubes, right? We can use it. We have x cubed minus 1. Now here we can use this property, which is if we have a cube minus b cube equals a minus b times a squared plus ab plus b squared. Now as we see here, we have x cubed minus 1. We can make it like 1 cube. So here we have x minus 1 times x squared plus x times 1, which is x, plus 1 squared, which is 1. And that's the final answer. Well, here we have the sum of two cubes, which is x cubed plus 8. First, we can just remind you with the property of with the sum of two cubes, we have a cubed plus b cubed equals a plus b times a squared minus ab plus b squared. Well, as we see here, we have x cubed plus 8. Now 8 we can change it to 2 cubed, right? So x will be a and 2 and b will be and 2 will be b, so it's going to be x plus 2 times x squared minus ab minus x times 2 or 2x. It's the same thing. So, and 2 squared means 4. Here you go. Well, here we have to factor completely, right? That's the difference between of two squares. And just to remind you, if we have, we know that's a squared, so we know that a squared minus b squared equals a minus b times a plus b, right? So here we have x to the 4th power. We can change it to 2x squared, right, minus 4 squared, right? So so it could be, so this one could be written like this: x squared minus 4 squared, and that would be equal to x squared minus 4 times x squared plus 4, right? For x squared minus 4 is x squared minus 2 squared, which is x minus 2 times x plus 2, and then we have x squared plus 4, and that's the final answer. Alright, so here we have to factor in perfect squares, factor completely. We have x squared plus 6x plus 9. Well, we can realize that this one can be written like x squared plus 2 times 3 times x times 3 squared. That, well, or x3 is the same thing. So this is the same thing as a squared, right? Let me just erase this. Now this is the same thing as x squared, as a squared plus 2ab plus b squared, which is equal a plus b squared, and that would be equal to x plus 3 squared, which is x plus 3 times x plus 3, right? This is one way. The second way is, well, we can see The second way, we can just like let me just, no, second way, when we have x squared, we have x squared plus 6x plus 9, right? So here we can see two values. AB equals 9 and A plus B equals 6. Now we have to find two values. When we multiply them, we get 9. We add them up, we get 6. These values are 3 and 3, right? So it's going to be automatically will be x plus 3 times x plus 3. Because if we multiply 3 times with 3, we will get 9. And if we add 3 with 3, we will get 6. This is another way, right? This is the first method here, and this is the second method. Well, here we have another example. We got 9x squared. We can change it to 3x squared, right? Minus 6x plus 1. Well, 1 we can make it like 1 squared. Now we have a squared and we have b squared and we have minus. So we can think about this a squared, right? And here we have b squared. If we can get minus 2ab, we can change it to a minus b squared, right? And we can see it here because minus 6x is the same thing as minus 2 times 3x times 1. So this one will be 3x minus 1 squared, which is 3x minus 1 times 3x minus 1. So this is the property of factoring here. To factor a second degree polynomial x squared plus bx plus c, we have to find two integers whose product is c. You know, two integers like ab, like a times b equals c. And whose sum is b, means when we add them up, we're supposed to get b, all right? And that's what we use a couple of examples before. We're going to use more examples. Well, here we have this example. Factor completely x squared minus x minus 12. So we have to look for two values, we multiply them, we get negative 12. The possibilities to get two values multiplied, we have like 1 and negative 12, we have negative 1 and 12, 2 and negative 6, and negative 2, 6, 3 minus 4, and negative 3 and 4. But when we add them up, we're supposed to get minus 1 because we have minus 1. So the only possibility is this one here. All right? So the values will be 3 and minus 4. And therefore, this is going to be x plus 3 times x minus 4 by using these values here. All right? Because 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. We add 3 with negative 4, we'll get negative 1. Now the same thing here for the second one. So we'll multiply them here, we get negative 12. And we add them up, we get 4, right? So we can use this one here, which is negative 2 and 6. Now it's going to be x minus 2 times x plus 6. Well, here we're going to use factoring by grouping, right? We have factor completely by grouping. We see that x squared plus 2 and x squared plus 2 are common as a common factor between the two polynomial here. So we can get like x squared plus 2 as a common factor equals x plus 3. All right? So we take this one as a common factor, we come up with x, which is right here. All right? Here we have plus, and we took x squared plus 2 as a common factor, and we come up with 3. And this is it right here. Right? Let's take another example. Here we have another example. Well, as we see here, what's common factor here, we get x squared minus 1, x1 minus 1 squared as a common factor, right? We can get it here, and we can also get it here, right? We can get x squared, x minus 1 squared from here, right? And also x plus 2 cubed as a common factor because we can get it also from here, all right? So here we have x minus 1 squared and x plus 2 cube as a common factor. And we take x minus 1 squared and we take x minus 1 cube from here, and we're going to have only x plus 2. So common factor with 3 times x plus 2 plus 4, because we took x minus 1 cube. We took x minus 1, let me erase this. No. We took x minus 1 squared from here, so we're going to come up with x minus 1. And we already took x plus 2 cube, which is we have. Alright? Now this is we have x minus 1 squared times x plus 2 cube. And here we have 3x plus 6 plus 4x minus 4. Alright? So here we have x minus 1 squared times x plus 2 cube. Now 3x plus 4x is 7x plus 2. Alright, that's the final answer. Alright, we stay with factoring completely by grouping here. Now we can see the first monomials here and the last monomial here. So we can see x cubed minus 4x. What's a common factor? The common factor will be x squared. So the common factor will be x squared, right? And when we take x squared from x cubed here, we're going to come up with x, and we take x squared from the second one, we'll come up with 4 plus 2x minus 8. We can use 2 as a common factor, and we're going to come up with x minus 4. Well, usually when we have these parentheses here, we should expect we're going to get the same thing in the second part, right? So we have x minus 4 as a common factor. So this is factoring by grouping. Now if you take x minus 4 from the second one, we're going to come up with x squared. We got plus because we have plus here. And if we take x minus 4 from the second one, we're going to come up with 2. And that's the final answer. Okay? Let's take another example. Alright, so this one, if you want to factor trinomials, and we get a, it's different than 1. Or no, any equation we have, any equation looks like ax squared plus bx plus c right here, right? Before we dealt with a equals 1. Now here a would be different than 1. For example, we get 2x squared minus x minus 6. Here we have 2. 2 is different than 1, right? So there is like a different strategy how to deal with it. Well, first we have to find the value of AC. Means, all right, let me just look at this one here. All right. So first we need to find the value of A times C. Means 2 times negative 6. Okay, which is equal to negative 12. Right? And then step number 2, we have to find two integers whose product is AC and then add up to B. What is B? Now B is in the middle right here. This is B, which is minus 1. Right? In other words, we have to find two values. We multiply them. AB should be equal to negative 12, and A plus B will be equal to negative 1. Well, we can use the table here. As the possibilities of the product of 2ab, we should, we get negative 12, which is 1 times negative 12, negative 1 times 12. But the only one that if we multiply them, we get negative 12, and we add them up, we get negative 1. It's this value is 3 and negative 4. All right. Now, why are we doing this? Because we need to change the value of the middle right here, bx. Will be changed to small b plus small a. Right? Like for example, if you see bx in the middle, will be changed to this. So based on the numbers we're gonna find, so bx, capital Bx, will be equal to ax plus bx. And why we have to do this? So we can be able to use factoring by grouping, right? So let's try to do this. Here we have 2, we get 2x squared, no, 2x squared minus x minus 6. Now the values are 3 and negative 4, right? So therefore, so we can just like, or minus 4 and 2. So we can change negative 1 to 2x squared minus 4 plus 3, negative 6. All right, how we get these values? I change negative 1 to the sum of negative 4 and plus 3. Why we have to do this? We can factor by grouping. We can see that there is a common factor between the first part and the second part here, which is 2, right? Which is 2. So 2 as a common factor, x squared minus 2, right? And I'm sorry, this is minus 4x. It's common. This is a mistake here. Let me just erase this. No, this is actually I changed minus x actually. So minus x will be changed to minus 4x plus 3x. Good. Now, if you see there is a common factor between 2x squared and minus 4x, which is 2x, which is 2x. It's going to be x minus 2. And the second part, we can see 3 as a common factor, and that will be 3. So will be 3 times x minus 2. Well, now we can see x minus 2 as a common factor. This is factoring by grouping that we learned before. All right? All right, so we continue here. So the common factor will be x minus 2 times 2x plus 3, right? Because we found that x minus 2 is a common factor between 2. So we take the x minus 2 as a common factor between the, right? So because, oh, now as we know, well, let me repeat this here. Now, as we said before, we come up with 2x squared minus 4x plus 3x minus 6, and we said there is 2x as a common factor, so it will be 2x as x minus 2 plus 3x minus 2. Okay? As we see here, we took a common factor of 2x, and here we took a common factor of 3. Now 3 is a common factor between 3 and 6. We'll come up with x minus 2. Here we have factoring by grouping, which is x minus 2 as a common factor. If we take x minus 2 from the first part, we're going to come up with 2x. Plus, we have plus here. If we took, if we take like x minus 2 from the second part, we're going to come up with 3. And this is the final answer. As we see, this it's factored completely actually. All right, have a good day.